Next, let's move on to things we can do in verbal communication. There are 3 key deep listening skills in spoken conversation. The first skill is reflecting. A bit like a mirror, this means reflecting or paraphrasing to the other person what you've heard from them. Remember when Judy shared she was busy at home and felt really tired? Now, a really possible response Leslie could have given to Judy to reflect back what she was hearing could be, "It sounds like you're exhausted, Judy." Now, this communicates what Leslie has heard, and equally, it empowers Judy to disagree if she wants. Now, reflecting is a really good way to show that we are listening. And for the other person, sometimes just being able to hear what they said from another person empowers them to clarify the situation. It can also help us check if we're understanding them correctly. Even if we don't manage to be 100% accurate in our reflection, what it does do is that it signals to them that we are interested and we want to understand what's going on for them. Now, you can think of reflecting as having maybe 3 levels of increasing depth. On the surface level, you reflect the situation they're talking about, the details of what happened, who was there, etc. Now, this basic level shows that you're listening. For Leslie, that might sound something like, "Oh, yikes. Sounds like things are really difficult at home." Next, you can reflect the feelings being communicated. This means reflecting the depth of the feeling as well. So Leslie might say, "It sounds like you're exhausted." Lastly, you can also reflect the hopes that you think the other person might be communicating. So if Leslie knows Judy well, she might reflect, "I wonder if you're hoping for a break." Now, these levels take some time to get used to, but reflecting feelings and hopes can show that you're really trying to hear what the other person is trying to communicate to you. But we do have to be mindful when using this, especially when we're trying to choose which level you're comfortable reflecting at. There's no need to jump the gun. For example, at the start of a conversation, you're not likely to have enough information about the other person to be able to reflect their hopes or maybe even feelings without making certain assumptions about them, which might not be healthy. So it might be wise to avoid doing that at that point. Right, so when you reflect or paraphrase, here are a few tips that can help you. First, you can use a phrase that signals the start of your reflection. Saying something like, "It sounds like ... or "I'm hearing that you ... at the start of what you say shows that you are hearing them, yet are also tentative about trying to tell them what is going on. Leslie saying, for example, "It sounds like you're exhausted," would be an example of that. Second, it can be helpful to use the same key words that the other person has used. Now, this lets them know that you are hearing them accurately, using their language, and you're not making your own assumptions about what they've said. So for Leslie, it might sound like, "So you're saying that ... Because Judy used the word chaotic, Leslie can reflect back, "It sounds like there's been chaos at home." Third, you can reflect very briefly the essence of what they're saying. Sometimes this might not be so clear to you. Now, if that's the case, or if there's anything you're not sure of, you can share what you've heard. Use a question to check in and see if you're understanding them well. That could be something like, "Have I got that right?" Or, "Is that the case?" In this case, Leslie could say something like, "Am I hearing that you're feeling overwhelmed at home?" Now, if the speaker disagrees or corrects you, that's all right. By checking your understanding of what you're hearing, you are already empowering the speaker to explore their own experience and not just your perception of it.